She didn't expect this moment. It wasn't something she had imagined, planned, or even considered possible. It arrived quietly, slipping into her awareness without warning, catching her in the middle of an ordinary day that suddenly felt anything but ordinary. 1 second, everything felt familiar and controlled. The next, she was standing still, realizing something inside her had shifted. At first, she tried to ignore it. Moments like this were supposed to come with signs, with build-up, with certainty. This one didn't. It simply existed, undeniable and confusing, making her question why her chest felt heavier and lighter at the same time. She told herself she was over that it was just a passing emotion, but the feeling stayed, steady and present, refusing to be dismissed. She replayed the seconds leading up to it, searching for meaning. A look held a little longer than usual, a silence that felt louder than words, a realization she hadn't been prepared for. It wasn't dramatic, and that's what made it unsettling. There was no clear explanation, no obvious reason why this moment mattered so much. Yet somehow, it did. She had always believed she understood herself. This moment challenged that belief. It didn't fit into anything she knew. It asked her to sit with uncertainty, something she wasn't comfortable doing. And so she tried to rationalize it away, telling herself that moments only have power if you give it to them. But the truth was, this moment had already taken something from her sense of predictability. She felt exposed in a way she couldn't explain, like a part of her had been seen without her permission. Not by someone else, but by herself. And that kind of exposure was harder to escape. As time passed, she noticed how everything around her felt sharper. Sounds seemed clearer. Thoughts felt louder. She was more aware of her reactions, her pauses, the way her mind kept returning to that exact point in time. It was an obsession. It was processing, her mind trying to catch up with what her emotions had already accepted. She wondered why this moment mattered now, why it had found her when she wasn't looking for it. She had been doing fine, staying focused, staying guarded. And yet, something slipped through. Something honest, something unfiltered. It made her realize how much effort she had put into keeping herself composed, controlled, untouched by things she couldn't explain. What unsettled her most was that the moment didn't feel wrong. It felt real, not reckless or overwhelming, just clear. And clarity can be frightening when you're not ready for it. She wasn't sure what to do with that clarity, or where it would lead if she allowed it to stay. She tried to return to normal, to move forward as if nothing had happened. But normal felt different now. Not broken, just altered. Like a room rearranged when you weren't paying attention. Familiar, yet unmistakably changed. She realized that moments don't need permission to matter. They don't wait until you're ready. Late that night, alone with her thoughts, she finally let herself sit with it. No distractions, no explanations, just the feeling itself, and in that stillness, she understood something important. This moment wasn't asking her to act. It wasn't demanding decisions or promises. It was simply revealing something true. She saw how much she had been protecting herself, not from others, but from uncertainty, from feelings that didn't come with guarantees. This moment reminded her that not everything meaningful arrives with clarity and control. Some things arrive to be felt, not solved. She didn't label it, didn't define it. She let it exist without forcing it into a story that made sense. And in doing so, she felt calmer, less resistant, more present. The moment lost its sharp edge and became something quieter, something reflective. She understood then that unexpected moments don't always change your life on the outside. Sometimes they change how you listen to yourself, how honest you're willing to be in the quiet spaces where no one else is watching. And that kind of change doesn't announce itself, it settles in. She still didn't know what would come next. Maybe nothing. Maybe something she couldn't yet imagine. But she stopped trying to control the meaning of it. She accepted that this moment had come when it needed to, not when she expected it to. She didn't expect this moment, but now that it had happened, she knew one thing for certain. Ignoring it would mean ignoring herself. And this time she chose to stay aware, even if the path ahead wasn't clear. Because some moments aren't meant to be understood immediately. They're meant to be carried quietly until you're ready to see how they've already changed you.